Yeah, the composition is called The Square, and the reason for the name is that it's when the audience see the stage, it's a big square marked up with something like black tape or something, and then you have 4 musicians playing from each their own side of the square, and they play audience that are moving inside the square, and the musicians perform after very, very specific parameters.
In the square, if the people are moving from one direction, that makes some certain sound. So we go from the deepest to the lowest, like, and then we have like stronger, this axis, and then we had some. Maybe I shouldn't say this, actually.
The challenge to the audience is to try to figure out exactly what kind of movement triggers which parameter.
And also in the center, yeah, that's important, because in the center everything is like a D major chord, but only in the center. So if you're a little bit on the left side or right side, you won't get like a perfect D major chord.
You enter the square alone, it's only one at a time, and then you notice that many people react with theater, or they want to do something, and the square is really merciless. It only reads your movements. It doesn't read any ideas or anything. It only reads everything very, very concrete, and it's very pragmatic. So I think it's so much more apparent, like the dynamics in the piece, when you actually go in slow, because it's so detailed that if you do a lot of stuff, you will not be able to pick up what is actually changing. But it's so specific. Like the smallest movement is, of course, has value for the musicians in interpretation. I think it's a very interesting concept to have a piece of music that's for the musicians so specific. It's no room for both interpretation and improvisation. It's all super detailed and so set. Like really, this is much more accurately notated than a piece of music by Bach or Mozart. Much, much, much more. Like there is much less wiggle room here. But at the same time, you end up with something that's completely changing every time. So it's very hard even to say that there's a composer of the piece. It's also like a little bit wrong in that sense, because it's like you create a space, you know, where you have like a universe of sound with different parameters of logic, and